Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Shear with Lebanon Now. Continue our Foodie Friday series. I'm here with Vanessa Williams from Cornerstone. How are we doing today?
Good afternoon.
You are pizza and subs, but you're so much more that we're gonna find out today. So tell me a little bit, because you're not the original owner.
No, we're actually the third owner.
Okay.
No, actually we're the fourth.
The fourth?
Yes.
Okay, tell me how that works.
So the original owners was part of the Horton family. And
Okay.
they, early 80s, they came to Lebanon from New Jersey.
Okay.
Opened up a little sub shop, pizza shop, right over here on the side street on Madison. Then they had it for a short time, and then Harry Leffert came in and he purchased it, had it same place, but then he eventually moved it over kind of by Little Caesars, over that direction, that little shopping center. And it was over there for about 20 years. And then they purchased, he did the building kind of cattywampus across the street, the old Brentwood.
Yes.
Yes. Used to be a pool hall, Brentwood, in Brentwood. So he purchased that, and we have been at that location for about 25 years, somewhere rather close to that. So it's been in Lebanon for 45.
I vaguely remember the location before this one.
Gotcha.
Right? I'm just vaguely.
Yeah.
So you acquired it about 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago, my husband and I purchased. Don't ask me why.
Well, that was my next question.
We were kind of looking for a business adventure, and definitely took the adventure. And we were kind of looking restaurant wise, and we wanted something potentially with a legacy. And that's when you say Cornerstone, you think of legacy. Yes.
And I always heard this adage, because I almost bought a restaurant one time, is that if you want to make $1 million with a restaurant, start with 2. Because you know.
I don't know. I don't know if I have enough time a day for 2.
Right. No, meaning that it's a hard turn. It's a hard turn because I know we see food costs right, but as a $20, $25, $30, those little small transactions for a staff and for everything else, it's a hard climb sometimes.
It is.
So you are a town favorite. What were some of the things when you bought it that you felt you had to live up to?
Well, I got threatened. Don't get rid of the ice. Ice has to stay. Keep the pickles. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, the pickles are amazing.
And do not change that bread recipe. Don't get rid of the ice machine.
Right.
Well, it's not the original ice machine, but it is the original one when we purchased it. So it's the same ice.
And it's what type of ice?
It's like the Cube Crunch ice.
The Cube Crunch.
Yes,
Gotcha.
everybody loves it. Pickles, everybody swears we make our pickles secret.
No.
We purchased those, but they are definitely a town favorite. We have people come and buy them by the jugful. You can buy them by the gallonful from me. So we have people bring in their own containers, or we provide containers so they have their pickles. And then the bread is the same recipe that it's always been.
So we were discussing, you go in and hand make that every day.
Every day. We make a little over 100 loaves every day of bread plus doughs. So we can, some days, like this morning, I made probably 100 doughs. Some days I go in and make 50 doughs. Yep. But we always make at least 100 plus of bread. And it's hand cut, hand done. I start about 4:30 every morning to make sure it's good and fresh and ready to go every day.
And that's bread, and that's your sandwich bread. And your
garlic cheese bread, anything like that. Anything that has a bread part to it.
Gotcha.
That's what starts in the morning.
And then the doughs are like for the
strombolis, pizza, all of those things. For that is the doughs.
Do you sell the bread, just bread? Can I just come in and be like, hey, can I have a loaf of bread?
Yes, you can come in and just buy a loaf of bread. We do have people, especially if people are passing through or out of town, they come in like, hey, can we get a loaf of bread? Or but yes, and we've actually been selling our pizza dough as well, because everybody's been purchasing these at-home pizza dough or pizza makers. Pellet stoves, things like that, flat top. And so people have been actually coming in and purchasing our raw dough, because it can be frozen or refrigerated.
So you guys are really known for your pizzas and your sandwiches, but I see spaghetti here. And since you guys have taken over, have you put more things on the menu?
Yes, we have. So like the spaghetti's original. One of the things, like I say get in there at 4:30, but we slice all of our own meat. We slice all of our cheese. Most of the sauces are made homemade, like the spaghetti sauce, the marinara, the pizza sauce, all that is made homemade. So we have to come in, and that's a lot of prep work. So we've added chicken salad. We've added other salads, other types of pizza, Alfredo, different types. Because when we started, it just had the red sauce for you to put on pizza. Now you can I can do taco pizza. I've got different things that we can do that are kind of sometimes on a secret menu, but we have them available to do.
So you're not going to divulge any of that secret menu? Okay.
Not yet. You got to have new things always coming.
Right. And do your employees, because I know when I worked at a restaurant, because I worked at a lot of restaurants when I was in my younger days, your employees were really good about finding new things to make, because you can only eat the thing so many times before you start getting like experimental with it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And there's only so much room for certain ingredients. You know, your bar is only so big. So yes, we do play around in the kitchen, try different toppings, different sandwiches, different meats, combinations, things like that. And yeah, there's some stuff that we try that no one else ever gets to, you know, just because I don't know that would really sell, or that didn't really taste like I thought it was going to taste.
Yeah, no, that's always the worst when in your mind you're like, hey, I'm going to do the thing, and
it may take you 20 minutes to make that, and you don't have 20 minutes to make that every sit down for every person.
So, what is your most popular selling item?
Well, I've kind of brought those.
Okay.
So,
let's start.
Meat Lovers Pizza.
Meat Lovers Pizza.
It's one of the top ones. It's got all the meats. All the meat. It has Canadian bacon, beef, pork, Italian sausage, bacon. It has all the meats on it. Pepperoni. That's the number one probably selling pizza. It and the Supreme, but that is definitely a favorite. Another favorite is the good old Stromboli.
Get this up here. And now, I mean, you cooked it, you know, not here, but
yes.
That's what this camera's for right here, is just so we can get a good view of the pizza. And as I take a bite of this, then tell me about the Stromboli.
So Stromboli, everybody's like, well, what is a Stromboli? It is basically a calzone. So all the meat, cheese, veggies are all inside. And then the sauce is on the outside. So this one is...
I mean, one I want to comment on this pizza. So good. Like, meat lovers are hard to pull off right, because they're either too salty or there's an overpowering. But that is great.
So Stromboli's a little bit hard because you got to put everything in there, and it can't be super runny, juicy. And so we actually use a special ham that doesn't have as much water in it. But that one has onions, green peppers, and mushrooms with cheese. And
do you make them per order?
Yes, they are made to order. So that was one thing that I added to the menu whenever we purchased it, was make your own. Because a lot of people didn't realize I could make my own. That you don't just have to get it with ham and salami.
Because there's certain things that maybe somebody doesn't like. And
there's some people who can't have cheese. So like we have a guy who comes in about once a week, twice a week, and he orders one with meatballs, pineapple, cheese, no cheese, mushrooms, and green peppers. And so he puts meatballs and steak and all kinds of different things in his, but he doesn't have cheese.
Whenever I come, this is how I always make deals with myself to be a fat kid, right? Is that I will walk down to your place from here, right? I'm like, if I walk, it's fine. Yeah. And then, that's what I do. I just pile everything that I absolutely want in there. All right, and what's
So our number 2 sandwiches, hot ham and cheese.
Of course.
Hot ham and cheese, and that's everybody's favorite. Some people say, I've never had anything other than a hot ham and cheese. So that's just a hot ham and cheese.
I'm going to take some stuff off of here.
I was going to say, that's fine. It just has lettuce and tomato on it. And then our second number one seller is what we call the cheesesteak. And so this one is our steak with fried onions, fried green peppers, and provolone cheese.
So I just want to go back to this. These are heavy sandwiches.
Yeah.
And they come in half and wholes, right?
Yeah, so you're eating a half. That's a 7-inch sandwich.
And it's hard. I've eaten one of these before. It's a big boy meal.
That's a lot of bread.
There is a lot of bread. Now, on the only thing about, and it is, the Philly steak is my favorite thing that you have, and that's generally, I get that or this. I'm not a big green pepper fan, so I like the fact that I can switch those out for onions and do the thing. So tell me about the spaghetti.
So spaghetti meatballs, like I said, our meatballs, we don't make those homemade, but they are some of the best meatballs that you can get, and we also use those on our meatball parm sandwiches too, which is another top seller. And then, like I said, we make the marinara sauce in-house. Great. It's all made with, and it's the same sauce that we use with our Strombolis.
And I had the luck, and I'm just going to have to do this, right? Because I don't have a fork, so we're just going to do it like this. But yes, so the meatballs, and we're going to try one of those. 'Cause I had one last night. And
Gotcha.
it was great.
Yeah, so they are pork and beef. That's another big thing that people ask. Okay, do they have any pork? Especially with all the alpha-gal and different types of eating right now that everybody's kind of avoiding gluten. And we actually can make most of the stuff in gluten-free options. So we can do a crustless stromboli or a crustless pizza. We do sandwich bowls. You know, we have a big group of guys from one of the factories. They come in and they all order no bread, but they want a steak bowl. So we load it up, steak, cheese, all the veggies, all the good stuff, and no bread.
And yeah, that's a big question I always ask on this show is what are your options, you know? Because my wife, she's gluten-free. She actually has celiac. She has to be very careful.
Yeah, and we also have a couple of doughs that we don't make. We actually purchase that are cauliflower. It's cauliflower based, but it's a gluten-free. And then we have a gluten-free, another crust.
Yeah.
And we use those. And when people like your wife come in with celiac, we treat that with rubber gloves. And they can't, you know, we have certain protocol that we take precautions because we do have people, kids, adults, and now it seems even more. So it's just more popular, more prevalent that people have some type of food allergen to that. Either maybe alpha-gal or it might be gluten-free or something.
And you guys don't mind doing that at all?
No, absolutely not. You know, like I said, we have everybody's trained to use it to do it so that whenever somebody calls, and a lot of it is our regulars because we know there's a family that I know when they call in, I know how to. We got to treat it with special care.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, and my wife included, she just like, I don't want to go bother people. I don't want to. And I assure you, as somebody who used to work in restaurants all the time, you want them to enjoy your place.
Yeah, everything is made to order. So for you to tell me, hey, I don't want cheese on that, or I can't have cheese, or or they say, hey, does your bread have milk or does it have eggs in it? No, it does not. Our bread is very basic. That has no preservatives, so that's why we have to make it fresh every day because it doesn't withstand shelf life. It doesn't really have that. So that's why we make it fresher. It literally has flour, salt, sugar, liquid, margarine, and water.
Yes, and
yeast.
Yeah, and you can tell. I'm going to do the I'm going to do the camera piece here.
Yeah,
I guess we can.
Yeah, you can tear one of those. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right, so we're going to do this under the camera. We're just going to tear that open there. Hopefully that's a good shot, right? And hold the bread up there. I'm a big bread eater, and that was a big thing when I started losing weight and being on a diet. But good bread is just good, like it is. So do you ever like just take some home and just do this?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I put a little bit in the microwave, warm it up just a little bit, take a little butter to it. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, no, it's good. And sometimes in the morning when I'm there, I'll make cinnamon toast with it. So yeah.
I was going to ask you guys do any dessert, anything?
We have our brownies, which everybody loves, but no, just because we don't, when we're in the mad heat of dinner and lunch and things like that, we don't really have time or the space to do a lot of dessert options. Right. And that's one thing that I hope, we've been experimenting with some of the dessert options, but they're just really hard. They're really hard unless you buy something pre-made, and that's just really not what I want to do. I want to make something that we have that has our signature on it, that we use our stuff, and like I said, it's rather hard sometimes to find that right.
And I love that value in what you do is that you're wanting to have as much homemade and as much stuff made there.
Yeah, well, and when people come in and when it's been around for 45 years, that expectation is there, and so you definitely don't want to disappoint when this is their one stop that they make while they're in town because they only come through ever so often, or they come home for Christmas to see their mom and dad, and they want it to be the same as it was when they were kids.
Do you guys do any sort of catering, order out, stuff like that?
Yeah, so our huge demographic is carry out. Lunch and dinner, we have our dine-ins, but from 4 o'clock till 6:30 at night, that phone rings constantly, and a lot of carry out. So that's a huge demographic. We don't do DoorDash.
I was just getting her to ask you. You're not.
We're old school. We're old school. We'll do you curbside. You can call and we'll bring it out to you, so you don't have to get out of the car. Or you can come in and get it. But yeah, I'm a little leery of DoorDash. I hate to say that, but I kind of am. We do carry out and curbside. We do catering. So like I've did weddings. Rehearsals, school events, church events, things like that, team events. We're always feeding the football team or the volleyball team or the basketball team. We're always feeding them. I feel like there's always a team to feed, or there's always somebody getting married that needs food for a rehearsal dinner. So we do a lot of that.
I got one more question and then we'll wrap up. Your billboard is a little iconic. right? Your roadside sign. Every time you go by there, somebody's getting wished a happy birthday. And this was, I'm guessing, something that was before you.
It was.
Because just growing up, it's like every time you drive by there's a new message for somebody, for something.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So again, I'm kind of like you. When I go by, before we purchased it, it was always somebody's birthday, anniversary, somebody was getting wished good luck, whatever. And so that was just, what else am I going to use my sign for? So,
right.
We do have our special on the one side, but, it's always great to, because we are community-based. I mean, you've been in, we have all these kids' photos everywhere. And so, it's always nice. Everybody wants to see their name. Sometimes there's been a few that are like, why did you put my name up there?
Because I was told to.
Because somebody told me it was your 40th birthday.
Every now and then we do birthday shout out stuff like that if somebody contacts us.
Yeah, so, some people are like, oh, I didn't want everybody to know it was my 40th birthday. Yeah. But it's always nice. Somebody always wants to see the birthday, up there or whatever. So if somebody calls, we try our best. Now, sometimes I've been called, why isn't that name out there well, it's because it's raining,
right.
Or somebody hasn't got here in time to put it up yet, but we try our best. If somebody calls, we try our best to get it out there.
Well, Vanessa, it's been a pleasure having you here for Foodie, whatever day this comes out.
We're good.
It's good.
It's Foodie Day.
You got to understand, the pizza is of the utmost excellent. I'm in there buying sandwiches all the time. Strombolis, I love them. It is one of the things that it's one of my rounds that I make. Because as you know, as a business owner, as whatever, a lot of times I don't have a lot of time, or I'm just trying to get out.
But it's crazy how many people say, I've lived here for 10 years and I've never stopped. I've lived here. I've drove out here for 25 years going to the lake, and I've never stopped. And this is the first time I've stopped. So I love it to hear that they've actually stopped.
Yes.
So I don't know what drew them in, but I'm glad they stopped.
Homemade bread, homemade sauces, fresh cut meat. One of the things that I would say is you can taste, and one of the things growing up here, right, is that, and that you have still nailed with Cornerstone, I'll be completely honest with you, is that you can tell you guys care. And if anything else, you've carried that over, and you can tell you guys still care. So thank you for doing that. Your hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10:30 to 8. You've been there for 45 years. Don't guess you're going anywhere anytime soon.
That's no plan to move anytime soon. So you should be able to find us.
And you're at 399 South Jefferson, which is right kind of by...
right next to City Hall.
Not right next to City Hall.
O'Reilly's, the car wash.
Yeah. So right there in that, just Midtown, really easy to find. Thank you again, Vanessa. And if you have any questions, just call Cornerstone, and we'll put all their information in there.